guys, I'm back. I was going to do a video for you guys last night and post it because I plan on posting every Sunday, but I actually fell asleep. So if you're new, which my channel is new, but if you've never seen my introduction video, my name is Kimberly Blackstone, and I'm going to be telling stories. It may be true crime stories, it may be unsolved mystery, it may be ghost stories, haunted story, those types of stories. It's going to be some type of fun story every Sunday. I'm also going to be doing reviews every Sunday right before the story. Now it may be a review on a place to vacation, or a product of some sort, or a store, a hotel. It doesn't, I don't know, I'm just going to find different ones to do reviews on, different things to tell you guys what I find that's really awesome. Right now, I'm sure you can tell I'm in my car, I'm on my way to work, and I knew that if I didn't do this story today at some point, then I was going to have to wait until Sunday because, well, work. But speaking of work, I do DoorDash. So today, since I'm doing this in my car while I'm working on my way to work, that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what I'm going to give you a review on today. Now, with DoorDash, first let's talk about my experience with actually ordering the food and things through DoorDash to have delivered to my home. I love it. It's convenient. You can get Walmart, so you could have your groceries or anything from Walmart delivered to your home. That way you don't got to get out. It's just a small delivery fee, and of course it's always nice to tip your driver. As I said before, that's what I do for a living, so I count a lot on the tips, and it's just, especially when you get a big order, it's just really a good thing to tip your driver. Now, as far as working and doing the DoorDash, it's really convenient. You make your own schedule. You work when you want to work, so you can make as much money as you want to make. I do really good at it. Every day that I work, I make at least $150. It's really nice because when you go on vacation, if you want to work and make you a little bit extra money to have on your vacation while you're on vacation, you spend more than you want to spend, or you think you're going to spend, and you're going to need that little bit of extra money. You can go work for a few hours, make your money, and do a fast pay, what they call fast pay, and get your money that day. You can do that once a day, and you can DoorDash from anywhere. So it's really convenient. And like I said, you make your own schedule, and I make good money. I make at least, like I said, $150 a day. Most of the time I make more. The town that I live in is a small town, so I actually drive about 45 minutes every day to get into a big city so that I can make more money. But I really enjoy it. And God, I hate fog. Do you all hate fog? I hate fog. Like, it is so foggy out right now. It's super, super foggy. So let me just show you guys how foggy it is. And it was worse. Was worse. But it's clear enough, thank God. So, alright, yes, DoorDash. It's super easy. Super, super easy. It's just the easiest job there is. I love it. So, yeah, if you're looking for an easy job and something to where you make your own schedule, yeah, I would highly, highly recommend DoorDash. It's great. So, let's just go ahead and jump right into our story. So, our story for today is going to be called, it's about The Boy in the Box, also known as America's Unknown Child. Yeah, sounds pretty bad, right? Yeah. So, this is a pretty bad story. I am going to have to give some graphic details, so let me just give a warning here real quick. There may be some graphic details, so there is a content warning. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right in there and go ahead and get this story done. Okay, so our story, The Boy in the Box. So this takes place in the Fox Chase, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. And on February 25th of 1957, a man by the name of John Scotchwick, I hope I'm saying that right, was out in the woods, off, in that area, checking for his muskrat traps. Okay, now I don't know if you know anything about that, but that at that time, and I'm not even sure, I'd have to look it up, but I think they're still illegal. It's an illegal thing to do. So anyway, he's out there, he's checking these traps, and he finds this little boy wrapped in a plaid blanket in a bassinet box. Now this bassinet box, it was sold by J.C. Penney at the time. This specific bassinet was. Now he finds this little boy, and this little boy's dead. So what does he do? He doesn't call the police like any other person would, because he's scared they would take his traps. Really? You don't report this because you are scared of them taking your traps. This was a dead little boy. Who does that? Who does that? I don't understand people. But anyway, so he just lets it go. He doesn't do anything about it. Okay, so anyway, he doesn't do anything about it. He just leaves the poor boy laying there like it wasn't nothing. So the next day, there is a college student by the name of Frank Guthrum. Okay, so he's driving out in the area, and he sees a little bunny rabbit, and it runs over into the weeds, and he knows that the area is well known for traps, so he wants to be a good Samaritan and maybe save this little rabbit from getting into a trap. So he pulls his car over off the side of the road, gets out, and he goes into the woods looking for this little rabbit. Now he finds the boy's body, and like John, he decides not to say nothing because he doesn't want to get involved with the police. Now, I did research. I couldn't really find why he was reluctant to get involved with the police. I'm assuming maybe he had a little secret of his own. But I couldn't find anything. So, he didn't say anything. Now, he ends up doing the right thing. But again, I don't see how that they can do that. To find a dead little boy in the woods and just not do nothing. I'll never understand people. Never. I don't see how it didn't affect them to see a dead little boy. Okay? So, the next day, he sees reports of a missing woman, a Mary Jane Barker. Now, that's a story we may cover at some point. I'm going to do some research on it. We may end up covering that story. So, he ends up reporting this to the police. So, the police go out there, and they start investigating. Now, the little boy's body was wrapped in a plaid blanket. He was naked. He had been severely, and I'm sorry about the sun, had been severely beaten. Okay. So they found that the boy was malnourished. There we go. I can't talk today. They found surgical scars, one on his groin. There was an L-shaped scar under his chin. There was a surgical scar on his ankle. Let's see. They found that his hair had recently been cropped, and they think it may have happened after his death because there was still clumps of hair stuck to the little boy's body. It's just very sad. Now they think that the boy is maybe 4 to 6 years old, so he's not very old at all. It's such a sad, sad thing. I can't imagine. I just couldn't imagine hurting a child. People are just crazy. They're crazy. I'll never understand exactly what goes through people's minds. It's just really scary. It's a scary thing that people can do this. So, I mean, it's just crazy. Crazy. Now, this investigation of this boy, now, you know, it started on the next day after he was found and reported on February 26th. So the police went out, you know, they investigated that scene, couldn't find anything, so they took the little boy's fingerprints, hoping, and they were really hopeful and optimistic that by taking his fingerprints, they were going to figure out who this little boy was, or some type of information of who he belonged to, that kind of thing. But unfortunately, nothing come of taking the boy's fingerprints. So the Death Valley, the Philadelphia Inquirer, printed 400,000 papers asking for information and telling about this case. Like, it drawed a lot of attention. And they posted them in stores. They sent them out with people's gas bills. Like, they tried to just get any type of information available. 400,000. That's quite a lot. So nobody ever came forward with any information. And I'll actually, here in a moment, show you some picture of the paper that was printed out. But nobody ever came forward with any information at all. So the police, over 260 police officers and investigators, went back out to the scene and swept the forest, like expanded their search, and they still never found nothing. You know, they never found a clue as to who this little boy was, what happened to him, nothing. So sad, so sad. Somebody's gonna get away with this. Such a sad thing. So as I mentioned, they didn't find anything that led them anywhere. The only thing that they found in the woods was a man's blue corduroy cap, a child's scarf, and a white handkerchief that had the letter G embroidered in the corner of it. So they didn't find anything. And they can't find out who this little boy is. They just can't find out anything. So the police are getting really frustrated. And they're really worried because they don't know who done this to this poor little boy. So the police are desperate. So they're going to try anything. So they take the little boy, they fully dress him, and they set him in a seated position, and they take a post-mortem photograph of him, and they send it out. And they want to see if anybody may come forward with any information, may recognize the boy. They're desperate. They want to find out who this little boy is, what happened to him. They never do. Never do. So, in March of 2016, a team of forensic filers put together what the boy reconstructed what it looked like. The boy was beaten pretty bad. And they put him on the unsolved case, trying to put it out there to see if somebody would come forward. They've really tried to find out about this little boy, who he is. It's been a case that has drawn interest all through the years, Now, in August of 2018, a Barbara Ray Vintner that actually used DNA profiling to find the golden state killer, which is something we may cover as well, is the Golden State Killer, used that same DNA profiling to try to identify this little boy. No luck. So over the years, they've tried so many things, and it's so sad because this little boy, yet to this day, still has not been identified. It's kind of crazy. That's somebody's little boy, you know? Kind of makes you wonder where his parents are. Why they didn't say something. Crazy. So anyway, there was a couple of theories that police and different investigators did have. Okay, so now in 1960, Remington Bristow, an employee at the examiner's office that repeatedly stayed in contact with this case, tried to figure it out, decided to contact a New Jersey psychic. Now, the psychic told him and described to him a house that matched a foster home 1.5 miles away from the site of where the boy's body was found. Okay, so they decided
in a quarter mile, turn left onto Boardwalk.
Bring the psychic to the site of where they found the body. Now, once they got her there, they led her straight to...
Take the next left onto Boardwalk, then turn right.
Not her. She led them straight to this foster home and told them this is where they need to search. So, unfortunately, they didn't have any reason to get a warrant or anything like that. There was no evidence pointing toward it, so unfortunately they couldn't just go in and investigate this foster home. There had to be something pointing to it other than a psychic to actually go in and investigate this home. Although they couldn't get any evidence to link it, Bristow just did not want to give up on this. So he kept watch on that foster home. He kept tabs on it. And he found out that they were having an estate sale. So he decided that he was going to go to the estate sale and see if he could find anything that may link this foster home to this boy. So he did find a bassinet that matched the box. Exactly. And he did find several plaid blankets that were very, very similar to the one that the boy's body was wrapped in. Now, unfortunately, this was still not enough evidence to get a warrant to investigate these people, even though they tried really hard. So Bristow come up with a theory that it was the man that ran the foster home's stepdaughter, and they dumped the boy's body because they didn't want her labeled as an unwed mother. But nobody could truly investigate it because they didn't have enough evidence that linked them to the crime. Okay, so this Lieutenant Tom Augustine had actually married the stepdaughter. So in 1998, just so that he can get this close, him and a society of retired police and profilers and investigation, they call it the Hugh Society, actually interviewed the foster homes runner, the people that run it, and the stepdaughter. And after that, everything against them was closed. It was off the books. They were no longer involved in this investigation. So that happened. Now, another theory that come into play in February of 2002 by a woman by the name of Martha. I researched, I couldn't find a last name. Only thing I could find was her being referred to as M or Martha. But she come forward with information, and in an interview with the police and investigators, she said that her abusive mother had bought the child in the summer of 1950. I think it was 1957. Yes, not 1957. So sorry, 1954. She bought the boy from his birth parents in the summer of 1954. Now, she said that this boy suffered sexual abuse, physical abuse for years. Now, one night they were sitting down eating dinner, and that this little boy vomited his dinner. Now, the dinner was supposed to have been baked beans. So Martha's abusive mother severely beat this child, even beating his head off the floor until he was semi-conscious, took him to the bathtub to clean him up. He died while she was cleaning him up. So she chopped his hair off, cut it off, to try to keep from anybody identifying him, and made Martha help her dispose of the body. Now, as they're getting ready to get the boy out of the trunk of the car, a gentleman stops and asks if they're okay. Well, Martha's mother convinced that they were okay, so the would-be Good Samaritan moves on. So, all this information that Martha gave, the police thought that it was a possibility, that they considered it to be true, because there was information that Martha gave that she wouldn't have known, because it was only information that the police knew. Like, the coroner found in the boy's stomach leftover baked beans. He found that the boy's fingers was waterlogged, like he had just recently had a bath. And of course, if you die when you're in a bathtub, your skin doesn't go back, because there's no blood flow to straighten those wrinkles back out. And there was an interview from a man in 1957 when this happened that also matched up. So they go and they talk to neighbors by Martha, and the neighbors said there was never a little boy that lived there, that was ridiculous. And they found out that Martha had mental health issues. So they brushed it under the rug and nothing was done about it. Now, to me, that sounds like that could be true. So I don't know why they didn't get a warrant and maybe go search the house to maybe further investigate it. But what do I know? It's not my job to investigate. It's just seems too in your face, all the information. But hey. Now, in 2008, Frank Bender come up with a theory that the boy had been being raised as a girl. There was a couple reasons why he thought this. The cropped cut, the strands of hair on his body was longer, and then the eyelashes of the boy had been styled. So he thought that maybe whoever had this boy was raising him as a girl to look like a girl. So in 2008, he did a sketch of the boy with long hair based off the strands of hair that was found on the boy's body. But nothing ever came of that either. Now, in 2013, a man in Philadelphia seen this case
in a quarter mile,
about a
turn
missing
left onto
boy
Cold Neck Lane
in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, he contacted two writers, one from California, one from New Jersey. Now, he basically introduced these two writers.
Take the next left on.
Now, these writers' names was Jim Hoffman and Lois Romano. Now, he basically introduced these writers, and they got together. They kind of looked into the two different stories. They
In a quarter mile, turn
after
left
looking
onto the
into
Kentucky
it, they
4 East
decided
Circle Road ramp.
that they needed to actually contact the police department, have them to get into the cases and put the cases together and actually do DNA from the family of the missing boy in Memphis, Tennessee, and the boy that was found in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, they contacted the police department, and the police department actually looked into it and investigated it. Now, they contacted the police department in 2013. And then in 2017, after they investigated the two cases and decided that it could be the same little boy, then they did go ahead and get the DNA from the family and the unknown child.
Turn left
that
onto
was
the
in
Kentucky
box.
4 East
and
ramp.
Unfortunately, the DNA did not match. So that was a dead end as well. Another theory that went nowhere. Now, in 1957, the boy was buried in the potter's field. But in 1998, they exhumed the body to get DNA samples. Now, the son of the man who originally buried him in 1957 donated a headstone which reads America's Unknown Child and a coffin, and they paid for a funeral. Now, the media, people from the local community all came to this funeral, and they buried him in the Ivy Hill Cemetery. Now, people from the local community actually keep his grave decorated with flowers and stuffed animals and that thing yet to this day. Now, this story about the boy in the box, this poor child that's never had his murder solved, has been on several TV shows. Cold Case, America's Most Wanted, their Unsolved Mysteries, I'm trying to pay attention to traffic. Other TV shows like CSI, Law and Order, they have made fictional episodes based around this case. So it's a very well-known case. But it's never been solved. So sad. And there were so many different theories and different leads, I guess you'd say, from the theories that they just never put together. My opinion, or my theory, so to speak, is that Martha was telling the truth. I think the only thing that she left out was the fact that maybe her abusive mom, dressed the boy as a little girl, and that's why the neighbor said a little boy never lived there. Now, I think the people that she bought the little boy from was his biological parents, but I think it was from the foster home. You remember the foster home with the bassinet and the plaid blankets? And I think that she went to them after she killed the poor boy, told them what happened. They didn't want to be, found out either. So they gave her the box and the blanket to wrap the boy in. So I think you put several of the theories together, and it actually gives you
in a quarter mile, use the right lane to take the ramp to Lexington.
That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. It might not be. What's your guys' opinion on it? Comment down below and tell me what you guys think actually truly happened. Is any of the theories right? I really feel like what I said's true. I mean, there's just too many obvious in-the-face signs there. I really feel like poor Martha was trying to tell the truth, and nobody listened. And I feel like the foster home was involved as well. Tell me what you guys think in the video, or below the video in the comments. I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this, your opinion on it. And I will see you guys or hear from you guys in comments next week with a new exciting story. Bye till then. Okay, so I lied. I seriously lied to you guys, because I'm not going to let you go yet, because I have a couple of photos from when I was doing my research of a couple of different ones that I came across. One is of the paper that they printed out. You remember the 400,000 copies of the paper that they printed out? Well, there's a picture of that. And there's a couple I want to just put out a content warning, because one is actually of at the crime scene, at the spot where they found the boy, and it's actually of the boy in the box, but it's not real super bad. I mean, it's bad because, you know, but I mean, it's not real like gory bad, and because if it was, I wouldn't show you guys that. And then there's another one of the picture. You remember they dressed him and set him up in a setting position of the postpartum, or not postpartum, listen to me, the post-mortem picture that they took, trying to maybe get some leads, if somebody recognized him. There's that. But there's just a couple of other interesting photos that I found that I want to show you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and post those at the end of the video. So until next week, you guys stay safe, be careful, you know. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you do comment your thoughts on this case, this unsolved case, this horrible story. And just, you know, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next week. And don't forget to like and subscribe.